welcome back to more Lord of the Rings Online. In the last episode, I made it here to Agarnaith, the ranger camp here in what seems to be a land of Mordor, devastated by pestilence and disease, apparently very dangerous. And as you can see, the quest I have here is green. Finally, we're back to having some green quests. That's pretty exciting. Let me talk with the ranger here and start picking up some of the quests.
Agarnaith, the bloody gore.
The Nurhoth we have spoken to in Udun are terrified of this place. They mention a stronghold called Saragos, the Blood Fort, but we do not know where it is or what lies within. The secrecy around here is as thick as the fog rolling off the swamp. Radrog and I are about to depart on our first scouting pass and could surely use another set of eyes. Primarily, we're looking for a safe path deeper into the bog. Since this area is rich in plant life, it is almost certain animals take refuge here as well. See if you can find any and test your strength against them. Our chances of survival and successfully uncovering the swamp secrets increase as we learn more about this unusual place. You may have noticed Agarnaith, it has a bit more plant life than the rest of Mordor. Not only that, but it is all a bit alien. While you are out exploring the mire, will you investigate the new species of vegetation that you come across? We should know what we are getting into before we move into the denser swampland. This map seems pretty exciting. I'm excited to do the quest here. And I think just up the road will trigger my Book of Mordor quest as well. What was that? The hell was that? You have found adventurers that entered Agarnaith from the southern approach.
Did Mithrandir send you to us?
Are you here to help us, Kippen? Did Mithrandir send you to us? Only a wizard could know the trouble we have been in ever since we arrived, and send aid such as you in time. Rhinaleg planned to rejoin us soon, but he has not yet found us. Enemies lurk everywhere in the swamp, and they can ensnare you even before you know they are there. I have never seen horrors such as these before, and I am no stranger to bogs, unpleasant and mires malicious. If the tales I have heard of you are true, you should be able to best even the foes that stalk the swamp, Kippen. I hope it is so. Defeat any you can, and Lindar and I will meet you further along north on the road, not far from where the eastern roads run away into the swamp. Alright. We shall defeat creatures, explore the fauna, the flora. Let's see. These do not count. These do. I am very much lagging here. Messing up my gambits here because of the lag. But looks like we're kind of fixed here. Even the swarms here count as enemies. So do the little rats, it looks like. Maybe? Yeah, pretty much any of these creatures, for the most part, will count. Direwolf. Another rat. And J.R.R. Root, Elite Master. So that's going to be like a roving threat kind of thing. So I will leave that for the end of the season in the Deed episode, I think. Alright, got some plant. I might have passed a couple of these plants. I wasn't really paying too much attention, admittedly. When touched, these reeds release a noxious liquid. Let me look at the map and see how things are looking. Yeah, there's stuff like everywhere. As you head north, the foliage begins to thicken. Nice music here. I want to say that for Mordor, they brought back the composer that did the soundtrack for the original game, The Shadows of Angmar. After completing your survey of the area, you conclude that the animals of Agarnaith are quite dangerous. They all seem to be infected with some sort of disease, driving them into a ravenous frenzy. You will include this note in your scouting report. Alright, so we're done fighting enemies for now, but I do need to continue inspecting the fauna. Spewing mushroom here. The mushroom is spewing spores into the air. Keep your distance. Bleeding sapling. This young tree is leaking a strange blood-colored sap. Yeah, let me continue going north-ish. I'll grab some branches, sure. I want to buy some more carry-all items with my LOTRO points, but I'm going to wait until they go on discount. Hopefully they go on discount soon. I want the crafting one. The smell of this flower makes your eyes water. One thing I always found worth spending LOTRO points on is just anything that improves your inventory, your storage, warehouse storage, all that stuff, because I'm a bit of a hoarder, if you guys couldn't tell. Although there's nothing marked here, I do want to see what this little camp is. Got some orcs here. They're level 115s. I won't bother for now since there's nothing highlighted there. I'm sure I'll have to go back there for something at some point. Let me get back towards the road. Very noxious mushroom over there. The path splits here. You can continue north or head east. Ooh, so many choices. What should I do? Let me go north just because the other quest is that way. Maybe I'll have to go back and do the other one too. Who knows? But for now, we will go north. Bloodstained page.
Slowly, wondrously, the land changed. Trees blistered and wept. Streams ran dark and then red. New things limped and anguished there. Broken veil no more. It was Agarnaith, the bloody gore.
The thorns on this vine are razor sharp. The flora within Agarnaith is indeed very strange and potentially hazardous. You will include this information in your scouting report when you return to the ranger camp. Oh wait, I still do need to defeat foul creatures. Whoops. For the epic quests anyway. Well, I don't know if I should call them epic quests anymore, but the Black Book of Mordor quest. Need 3 more. See a quest ring up ahead. Let me go check that out. An infected orc. Let me do some AoEs here so I can get this boar as well. Okay, excellent. Defeated 12 creatures. In your scouting of Agarnaith, you encounter some strange orcs. They show signs of disease and their behavior is especially erratic. You decide that you should defeat them rather than risk another dangerous encounter later. The rangers back at the camp should be made aware of this threat. Alright, so I need 4 more orcs. I don't know where they're gonna be, but I will continue a little bit northward. Another page.
In the distant depths of time, before us, before Mordor, memory whispers of her first poisons, concocted in service to Sauron, laying low rivals and foes.
From here, the path leads into Dor Amarth and to the ruins of Barad-dûr. So let's look at the map here. Yeah, it'll interestingly take me back towards a map I've already been. So this is actually a fairly small region for the most part compared to some of the other locations we've been in here in Mordor. Alright, let me get some of these orcs. There is no path in this direction, but it seems dry enough to continue. Let me try to group all these guys up here. Stupid pesky flies. Alright. Excellent. What is this? Disease? It's a light wound. Distracting cloud. Oh, this is interesting. These are like enemies, the little blight mushrooms. Let me take a look at the map. You know what? Let me just get on the pony. I need to scout another location, which looks like I do have to go get that eastern location when the road splits, so you do have to check both of them. Yeah, I know the music here is kind of minimal, but I really like it. It's really good. Need to find a few more orcs. Linadar made it to the meeting location, but where's the other adventurer?
We should never have come here.
We should never have come. This place is not fit for good folk. It hates us and will survive evermore until we are slain, and the marsh will never give back our bodies. It will jealously drag us down beneath the surface and never let us go. Eredrog was slain by a terrible creature to the south, not far from here, and Renaleg is missing and nowhere to be found. I ran, to my shame, but shameful or not, I am still here and they are not. Can you search for Renaleg at least, and mayhap see if Eredrog survived his wound? I cannot imagine that he did, but if there is a chance that he lives, we should not abandon him. My courage is spent. What good is a man of Gondor who runs from peril? And yet, there is peril all around us in this horrible swamp. Alright, let's find some more infected orcs. Ideally, not seeing any. Here we go. Here's one. Let's grab both of these. That way we can finish up in one go. Excellent. These infected orcs are extremely dangerous. You have valiantly defeated several, but have a feeling that many more lurk in the foreboding swamps of Agarnaith. New deed, honored in the conquest of Gorgoroth. It's a pretty epic title. Alright, let's see where we are here. Alright, let me go to the quest ring to the northwest. There is a standing sword. Renaleg is gone, but his sword remains, sticking straight up in the mud. Did the sword fall from Renaleg's hand as he was borne aloft? Let me go southeast now. There are a couple more quest rings this way at the intersection, and then east from the intersection at the road. Yeah, the music here really does give that very, like, ominous, this is an ancient swamp that has been here since the dawn of time and consumes everything around it. Gives that vibe, you know? Aradrog's body lies in the muck. Aradrog has succumbed to his wounds. He is dead. Not good. Let me check the eastern path of the road here. There is an ominous fortress off in the distance that way. An Uruk fort guards the path deeper into Agarnaith. Let's see. Let's go continue chapter 3.4.
I cannot stay here. We have to go back to the gate.
Man, this guy is sounding frantic. Settle down. Calm down, sir. I'm not surprised to hear that Aradrog was dead, for the creature that attacked him was a terrible, rotting thing. I can still hear its awful cry echoing in my head. But what of Renaleg? You found his sword, but no sign of the man himself? You tell Linadar that the sword was stuck blade first in the mud, as if Renaleg dropped it from a height as he was being carried aloft by some flying creature. Linadar's eyes are saucers, wide with horror. I cannot stay here, Kip, and I cannot abide this swamp for a single moment longer. I did not think myself a coward, but who could remain in this land and keep his wits? Let the shame follow me back to Gondor. I care not. At the least, I will keep my life. Please help me get back to the gate, Kip, and I cannot bear to go alone. So I gotta go talk to Mithrandir. Linadar is so shaken that you agree to see him safely out of Mordor. Alright, so we're going back to the ranger camp. You know what? We can use the milestone, can't we? Save ourselves a couple minutes. Maybe not a couple minutes, but at least a minute. I seriously hope you didn't breathe in any of those spores. How was I to know it would explode like that? It's just a mushroom. I'm sure I'll be fine. You should take something, just to be safe. Wait, our medicines appear to be missing. All the food is gone as well. Someone sacked our camp.
More complications? Though I did not expect an expedition into Mordor to be simple.
Tell me what you saw while scouting. You explain to Faerun that the foliage quickly grows dense as you move north, and that the animals are diseased and feral, and that an Uruk fort guards the only clear path deeper into Agarnaith. Aye, that matches what we have seen as well. Also, the plant life is trying to kill us. He grimly nods towards Rodrog. This place reminds me much of Agamor, but far more alien and deadly. We must tread carefully. That's interesting that he said that, because towards the beginning of the episode, I said the same thing. I said it reminds me of the Red Swamp, right? In the Lonelands. Anyway.
Something must have been watching us and stole our supplies while we were gone.
I cannot find any footprints in the mud, so it must be someone or something small and... Rodrog interrupts himself with a sudden coughing fit. Ugh, I'm fine, truly. See if you can find the thief's trail nearby. It could not have gone far. Alright, before I continue that, let me go talk to Mithrandir in case he gives me more quests in this region. That way I can be efficient with how I'm questing. So, let's go to Udun Foothold. That'll take me towards the Black Gate. Riding to Mithrandir once more. Looks like he's at the closer location, not the one all the way outside, so at least there is that. Alright, Mr. Gandalf.
What did you learn of Agarnaith? Are the rumors true?
Many are the explorers who have returned from that land shaken, robbed of their courage. You recount what you beheld of the festering swampland, and the wizard is most interested to hear the vile creatures that you encountered. I am made uncomfortable by your description of these beasts, Kippen. That they suffer from some malady is clear, but that there are 1 or 2 points about which I desire clarification. Something affects the creatures within Agarnaith, and it is no natural rot. It lurks in the air and the water of that land, a pestilence affecting the animals and the plants of the bloody gore. I must return to Minas Tirith to conduct my study, and I ask that you come with me.
We must return to Minas Tirith.
The creatures that walk in Agarnaith and the vegetation that grows there suffer from a rotting disease. Worry has begun to gnaw at me concerning this disease. There are scrolls and tomes within Minas Tirith that may dispel my concerns. I hope they do. I will need your help, Kippen. The wagon driver, Rathnor, prepares to leave soon. He will bring you to the city with some others, and Shadowfax will bear me alongside.
You and the wizard will be coming to the city as well?
That is most fortuitous, Kippen. All know that wizards are standoffish sorts and do not make friends easily. He will be glad to have you there as we travel to the city of the invaders. Eorzin looks at you slyly, and then he laughs. Ah, you must pardon me. Truly, I am Eorzin, the blunderer. I should not speak ill of the city, for it is so tall, and only a small portion of it was damaged by the war. Only 1/3 of it, yes? The battle would have had at least an hour or 2 more for the rest to be made to match. I await the ride to the city with interest, my new friend. Let's see. The wagon driver, he's a little bit further that way. I do kind of want to go back to the swamp, but we have to go investigate the studies of Minas Tirith to learn a little bit more first. I think that's probably the best order of action. Again, I'm trying to avoid doing a bunch of quests in the swamp and then continuing the epic quest here, and then they tell me to kind of go back and do a lot of the same stuff.
I will be glad to have you with us as we travel to the city.
I do not trust the Easterling, and I know some of the soldiers who will travel with us do not either. Speak to me when you are ready to leave, Kippen, and we will depart.
You are ready? Then we will depart. Well, this is far enough for the night. We will continue to the city in the morning. Get a fire started.
Good. The soldiers have started a fire. We will take some food and some rest. And then when the sun comes up once more, we will continue on to the city. This is a pleasant enough place to wait out the evening, much nicer than the lands we have left behind us. It will be good to have a reprieve from the choking fumes of Mordor and the wastes that border that foul land. But do not be lulled into complacency by the pleasant scenery. Keep an eye out on that Easterling. He has caused no trouble thus far, but I do not want him to take advantage of our kindness. His sorts are deceptive and untrustworthy, and we must not forget it. I will warm my bones by the fire and have a bite of bread. That sounds nice, actually. It is very nice scenery here, I will say. I don't care what he says for himself. I don't trust him. That Easterling would stick us with a blade without a second thought. How many good men of Gondor have already died at his hands or at the hands of his fellows? I will not sleep tonight. I will keep my eye open and make sure that this Eorzin does not try anything. You should do the same. Come, lads, but keep an eye out. These wagons travel more slowly than they did on the way to the Black Gate. Does Rathnor spare his horses the exertion of a reasonable pace? He does them no favors. Shadowfax is made the better by haste, and revels in the lands passing by at speed. Bah, these horses could do with some feed, and the evening will bring rest enough. but I am impatient to reach Minas Tirith. The scrolls and tomes of the White City will be of use to me, but I need you there if we are to cover them sufficiently. Does no man understand our need for haste? Did these men think I have no ears? I hear what they whisper behind their hands. It bothers me not. I can say the same of them, and much worse. They do not have even a portion of Eorzen's courage, of his fine features. They are right to worry. If I wanted them dead, they would not see this sun come up in the morning. Lucky they are to have seen the end of the war. Did they know it is done? I do not fight for Sauron any longer. Did I say they were cowards and ugly of face? Dim-witted they are also. To think the war still needs fighting. Join them at their campfire if you wish. I am content to stay right here, and need neither the warmth of their fire nor their company. The sun is my companion, and he shines on my home, as he does here. Sit and warm yourself by the fire, Kippen. I'm glad to be leaving Mordor behind us. Aye, indeed. But we bring some of its refuse with us. You are right, Belaith. That is a pity. It was not up to me, lads. Blame Kippen or Mithrandir if you want to take the risk. I would advise against it. I am in a dark mood already, and do not have time for small-mindedness. Linadar, tell me something. How fared you in Agarnaith? I think to go there when next I return to Mordor. I think you should steer clear of it, Belaith. I found no treasure there. It is perilous and empty. Ha! You have something to say, Easterling? Eorzen does not speak to cowards. Calling us craven, are you? I do not need to say it. You say it of yourselves. I will not apologize to these cowards, Kippen. They are children playing at war while the sun is in the sky and called in for bed at sundown. You know nothing of Sauron. They know nothing. Your master is dead, Easterling. Sauron is gone. He was no master of mine. You are a liar. You do not know how it was. He did not begin with Gondor. The Dark Lord did not come to your lands until he had conquered mine. If your people had been stronger, he might not have had the chance. Stronger? Strong like the walls of your White City? This one has seen Agarnaith. Ask him what he saw. Well, Linadar? It was horrible. I do not want to speak of it. When next you speak of strength, consider this truth. She who made Agarnaith, as it is, she came first to my lands. Her poisons devastated whole cities. They are empty now. No one walks the empty streets for fear of her memory. We tried not to say her name, but the children remember. Sweet Lotta, they sing, walking in the moonlight. Heard a baby crying, flew away at once. Can this be true? Your wizard knows of her. You men of Gondor do not know the horrors that befell my people. Yes, we fought for Sauron. Others of us died by his hand. We did not have a choice. I do not believe that. I care not. But if you ever come face to face with sweet Lara, you may understand. Sauron is gone. I fear no lesser phantoms. I will not repent for my words, Kippen, but I will confess to you that I paid no heed to the events beyond the borders of Gondor. That Sauron first conquered the lands to the east was known to me, but I did not consider what that must have meant for the people who lived there. I believe the Easterlings worshipped him as their Dark Lord, and no doubt many of them did, but the words of Eorzin have planted seeds of doubt in my mind. I do not like him, and I still do not trust him, but perhaps his people... Bah, I do not know, Kippen. Would we have succumbed to the domination of Sauron as did the Easterlings? I did not believe so, but perhaps it is a more difficult question to answer than I thought it was. It's an interesting question about the moral ambiguity of, positions. Now the crying stopped, all quiet again. Sweet Lara, walking in the moonlight. Just make sure he has no more text here. I want to get the full context of the conversations. We cannot believe everything that Eorzin says, Kippen, but I detect in his words some elements of truth. That his people passed down legends of the creatures that stalked their lands cannot be questioned. And I know the inspiration for one he calls Sweet Lara. She was called Agarnaith the Stained, a creature of fell reputation. Once she made her home in Mordor, and it seems Agarnaith has not forgotten her, for the touch of her corruption remains. Many were the hurts she perpetrated upon the lands of the Easterlings, and her foul touch was felt even in Gondor. But that is not a tale to be told in the dark, even by fireside. Agarnaith is gone with her master, though her presence can still be felt in Mordor today. You may as well get some rest while we are stopped, Kippen. I hope Rathnor wakes with the sun and we can be off again as soon as possible. Alright, and we are in a familiar place here, Minas Tirith, after battle. Alright, so I think this is a great stopping point for this episode. Thank you guys, as always, for watching. If you're not already subscribed, what are you doing? Join the fellowship. Join the fellowship. See you guys next time.
Thanks for stopping by the Renaissance Gaming Monastery. I hope you join our community on Discord and Twitter. These videos are produced with a lot of hard work and love. If you think they're worth $1, I'd be grateful for your contribution. You can send a thanks donation or become a member on YouTube. You can also support through PayPal, Patreon, or even with cryptocurrency. All links are in the description. See you on the next video.